All right, Geno, after all the success you had last year, it'd be pretty easy for someone, maybe a younger quarterback, for it to go to his head and not control the ego a little bit. What's the key for you to staying so humble and grounded?
Yeah, just focusing on the process. Obviously the results of last year was, a successful season for myself. But the main thing was the process that I went through before that. The practices, the workouts, all the things that made it possible, for me to have a great season. And so just focusing on doing those things better and hoping that, it'll result in an even better season.
Those things keep you humble, things like that? Like, do you get reminders during the season, maybe from a relative or a friend, that, man, this is pretty cool?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, I'm so swamped with work and just, being really entrenched in, my job here. But there's people, my family and everyone else on the outside, they're always excited for me and they're always watching. And even at the games, man, they're just happy to see me, obviously doing great things. But for me, staying humble is pretty normal for me. That's just who I am. It's my natural demeanor. So I just focus on being myself and just working hard.
After the 49ers playoff loss last year, you came back here, you worked out for a couple of weeks, as if to extend the season and keep yourself in that frame of mind. Why was that so important to you?
Yeah, I'm big on foresight. I'm big on, obviously speaking things into existence and then seeing them through. And I just felt like, this upcoming season, I felt like, if we're going to make it to the Super Bowl, if we're going to be, playing all the way, then, I would be training, I would be working out. There won't be any days off. I won't be on vacation or anything like that. So I wanted to see the season through, although we didn't have any more games, and in hopes that, that'll prepare me for this season.
Talking about working out, I saw some workout videos for you. It's kind of unusual for you to post them, but
yeah.
That one was pretty impressive, man.
Yeah.
And I know some of your teammates are riding you a little bit, but
yeah.
Why did you put that out there?
Actually, it was my trainer, Sharif. He's a really good trainer, and he's done so many great things for me and my body, just helping me get stronger and faster. And it was just a normal day. It was a normal day out there in the Florida sun. It was about 95 to 100 degrees out there, and as you can see, we're out there with our shirts off, just trying to bear the heat. But he posted it, and it was just a glimpse into what we do, but obviously not everything.
No, I think it's cool. I think it is some good insight. A lot of winning teams have kind of that family feel where you guys are really close and you play for each other. And how important is that concept for you, of family on a team?
Yeah, family is huge, just in my life in general. And so any team that I've been on, I've looked at, every single one of my coaches and teammates, and even the front office as a bit of a family member. And, we're all here working for the same thing, for a common goal. And so we're very much an extended family. And so I treat these guys as such, and hopefully they do the same.
They put out some stats on you, and you've had some impressive stats throughout last season, but one that jumps out recently was your ability to throw the deep ball, and I just want to read these stats. You completed 24 of 51 deep passes, 719 yards, 13 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions for a 116 passer rating. What's the key to being successful on the long ball?
Yeah, the key to success on the deep ball is repetition. A lot of repetition, being on the same page with your wideouts. Obviously, it starts with protection, right? You're going to, throw a deeper pass. You're going to need more protection. So the guys up front really starting with the protection. Obviously, the repetition, like I said, and then trusting it, throwing it, being accurate, and then guys coming up with great catches.
The receivers have to be just an equal part of that, huh? They've got to run the right route and make sure that they create some separation, but there's so much involved in it. But
yeah, the deep pass is truly offensive totality. It takes everybody to get that done.
Did you know you were that efficient when it came to deep passes? Like when you see that you were the best deep ball thrower last year?
I was aware. I'm always looking at areas to improve, and so you look at all your areas, the deep, the intermediate, the short, and you see where you're at and figure out ways to improve. And so I was already working on that in the offseason, getting better at my deep ball. And although we were pretty good last year, it's got to be better this year, and nothing from last year is going to translate. So we got to do everything over.
Okay, I'll take you a little bit off the field now. I love your family tree. You got a lot of athletics throughout the years in your family tree, but the one that jumped out to me was Cyril Eugene Smith, your great-grandfather, Mr. Bahamas, 1950, a bodybuilder. Went on to more acclaim as a boxing referee. Did you read up on him in the past? Like, how much have you read up on his accomplishments?
I know all about it. I know all about it, and it's a part of why I take pride in what I do. because, you know, my family back home, obviously in Florida, but also in the Bahamas, they're watching, and they all are watching. They all are big fans of the Seahawks. Everybody in South Florida is now a Seahawks fan. Everybody in the Bahamas are Seahawks fans. And, you know, my granddad, great-granddad was amazing. My uncle Danny Smith was a gold medalist hurdler, you know, in the Olympics. I think it was the '86 Olympics. And so our family tree is pretty stout, and so we want to keep that going.
Do you see parallels when you read up on some of these accomplished relatives, parallels in what you do?
Yeah, I believe it's a direct result in me being here. My uncle being a hurdler allowed me to, you know, I think I'm, you know, and it runs in our family, right? Long legs, sprinter body, bodybuilder. You know, I'm not the biggest guy, but I'm pretty strong. So, you know, a lot of that comes from Cyril himself. And so, you know, all of those things have created who I am as a quarterback who's a dual threat.
Well, I mean, you look bulked up, man. Like, you feel good. You get any comments from your friends saying, "Hey, man, you know, which way to the beach?"
Yeah. Guys are, you know, a couple guys are trying to give me stuff about it, but you know, for the most part, you know, obviously I do it so I can be strong, but you know, guys do try to crack jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you took some hits last year, and you popped right up, especially in that 49ers game when you were already on the ground and took a shot right before halftime, and it was like, man, you popped right up. So that's got to help you.
Yeah, it does help me. You know, last year I was able to play every single snap. And that's a big focus of mine. You know, obviously I lost a lot of time, you know, as a starter, and so I don't want to miss a snap. And so that's the reason I train the way that I do, so that I can play every single snap for my team and be available at every moment.
Yeah, I think of all your stats, I think that the durability last year was probably your most impressive stat. Man. Play every snap. Wow.
Yeah, I would agree.
How about you have a second favorite sport other than football?
Yeah, I grew up initially, you know, basketball was my first love. And, you know, I grew up playing hoops, and then obviously, you know, started playing football at the age of 11 or 12, and really fell in love with playing quarterback and being the leader of the team. And I kind of put basketball to the back burner, but I was a three-sporter: baseball, basketball, football.
I know you're all about mental health awareness. You're doing a nice job in the community in all these different areas, charitable foundations and things like that. You have Seven Sunday Heroes Foundation, also the Extended Hands in South Florida. Tell me about your involvement. How important is it for you to do those things and give back?
You know, giving back to me is huge. It's everything to me. I think being a part of a community is you know, who we are as human beings. And you know, prior to me entering into the NFL, my mother had the Extended Hands Foundation, and when I was in high school and when I was in junior high, we would always be out active in the community, giving back. You know, passing things out, passing out book bags, school supplies. My mother and grandmother would help, you know, less fortunate kids get school clothes, and so that's just a part of my makeup and my DNA. And when I got to the league, I started Seven Sunday Heroes, which is again for, you know, less fortunate individuals, and we're able to bring them out to games and their families and show them a good time on Sundays. To kind of take things away from, you know, what they're going through in their daily life. And then I'm able to connect with them, and we have a dinner at the end, you know, have a gala and stuff, and everyone's all happy. So it's a real good thing.
I would imagine it's a great feeling to be able to do that, and it's great that you did it as a pro athlete, as all these kids look up to you. Just a couple more questions for you. The trademark for they wrote me off, I ain't right back though. Have you done anything with that? Like, I know you protected it, but where are we now after a year?
So I got the shirts made. The website is going up real shortly. So the Seven Sunday Heroes, you know, is a big part of that. And most of the proceeds, if not all of the proceeds, will be going towards donations to help out less fortunate families and anybody in need, really. And so the I Ain't Right Back shirts will be up, and you know, hopefully everyone goes and buys them up, and then I'll have to have a problem with restocking them. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's great. So that's all the proceeds will go to more charity, which is tremendous. All right, one last question for you. Taking you back to your childhood, it's Christmas, you know, was there a bike or a toy back in the day that jumped out at you when you look back? I think we all have a favorite toy. Was there something back in the day?
Yeah, I remember one specific Christmas, it was the Razor scooters. You know, when the Razor scooters came out, and it's nostalgic for me to have, you know, we got a bunch of those in the VMAC. Guys, you see Pete riding through on a Razor scooter sometimes, but I remember like when the Razor scooters hit, man, everyone had them, and like we had at least 10 of us was like just freaking scooting down the block, up and down the block. So I remember that.
That was the one of your favorites,
yeah,
huh?
That was one of my faves right there.
All right, Geno, thanks a lot, man. Best of luck this season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.